A man reported seeing a Bigfoot-like figure on 3 glowing or metallic red balls hovering over the freeway about 75 yards in the air. The witness slowed his vehicle to about 10 miles an hour to get a better view when the figure began to fly north across a wheat field. Okay, so let's just pause there. So a Bigfoot.
Run me through it again. Run me through what you think's happening here.
A Bigfoot sitting on 3 glowing or metallic red balls is hovering above a freeway about 75 yards in the air. A witness
Unlikely, I would say. Unlikely. Unlikely that this Reddit forum is the first time we're hearing about this, if it indeed happened.
A witness has seen this Bigfoot, this, generally, if you're unfamiliar with what a Bigfoot looks like, because there is an artist impression. It's a giant gorilla, an upright gorilla. Okay. And it's sitting on 3 red balls, like the balls that David Bowie plays with in Labyrinth, but they're red and metallic.
So they're stacked end on end?
No, in a triangle.
Okay.
In a triangle, and he's sitting on top of the triangle.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Not stacked.
Not stacked. So not okay.
Do you know what I mean? They're arranged in a triangle. If they're flat on a pool table, they're just 1, 2, 3 flat on the table.
Okay, but he's sitting sort of on one of them or in the middle of them?
In the middle of all 3. In the apex or the vortex. Adam Spencer's going to fucking come at me for getting apex and vortex wrong because I just feel like that's his great pleasure now is fact checking me. My inability to fucking calculate dates and leap years and shit like that. So have at it, Spence. That one's just for you. I don't know what a vortex or an apex is. Okay, so the witness sees it drifting across a wheat field. I would like to know what pace it was drifting. What does it say? He slowed his vehicle to about 10 miles per hour to get a better view. It doesn't say how fast the Sasquatch is floating. He could only see the back of the creature, and it was solid black with what appeared to be a suit or a hairy cloak. Sitting on appeared to be 3 spheres connected together. These large, round, ball-shaped objects had a candy apple metallic glow to them. Shocked, he pulled over. Do you reckon this is the same guy who took the ayahuasca?
You should not take ayahuasca and drive. That's the message. Shocked, I pulled over, watched a short video for Amazon, and then got straight back to the Bigfoot on the balls.
That's the last thing you want is a Bigfoot on your balls.
I mean, even just I've never heard of the idea of a Bigfoot floating around on giant balls. This feels like a whole brand new twist to the mythology of your Bigfoot. Your Bigfoot is traditionally lingering mysteriously in the woods, right?
Yeah, it feels like they have merged 2 mythologies. So there is a thing called Orbs. Have you heard about Orbs? So
no.
Some people report glowing orbs. So they'll post videos and it's like a ball of light that appears, and flicks around and disappears.
Oh, yeah. The sun? Are they talking about the sun?
No, generally it'll happen indoors. It looks like it's just like a trick of light is playing in a camera lens or something like that. But there's people who believe they're spirits or something supernatural. So it feels like someone has taken ayahuasca and merged their love of Bigfoot with their love of orb mythology. I've never heard them being red and apple metallic. Okay, this is where it gets weird. Shocked, the driver pulled over and he could see what appeared to be a dead dog, possibly a black and white Sheltie, hanging to the left side of the vehicle from a rope. So Bigfoot is just floating along on his orbs and he's maybe caught himself some lunch and he's hanging that lunch from the side of his orbs.
So he's like fishing or something. He's been floating around on his orb with a fishing line picking up dogs. Is that...
It sounds like, the artist impression is, it looks like that. He's been hunting and he's caught this dog and now it's bound to him. This is like a low rent version of the Jeepers Creepers monster. This is what it feels like, for 30
Is there a chance that maybe he just forgot he has a dog and he just forgot it was tied up to the balls when he took it off?
Oh, no, like vacation, National Lampoon's Vacation. That'd be awful. Okay, possibly. If the Bigfoot was drunk, if the Bigfoot had taken ayahuasca.
Right. Why not? Forgotten. Let's combine them all.
Yeah. The figure then flew across the field towards Smith Road, where the witness jumped into his car and sped northeast on Sapperley Road, where he turned and proceeded to speed at around 70 miles an hour towards Smith Road. I'm confused by that. He got there, turned left, cutting the figure off so he could see it better. At this point, he realized. At this point, the Sasquatch realized the witness was following it and turned around and flew in a more westerly direction. The driver could not get in a position to see it again after that.
Unlikely. I'm just going to stick with unlikely. That
Now,
just doesn't even follow any sort of narrative or logic at all.
Someone earnestly tells you that story, like someone that you trust. Someone like who's a no-nonsense friend of ours.
I think the sentence that you're actually meant to be saying is someone that I used to trust and I'm now suspicious about.
But honestly, what is your first thought is like, is it mental illness? Is it drugs or alcohol? Like you go to the logical conclusions first, right?
Yeah. I mean, look, here's what I will say. People see things, and when you see things with your own eyes, regardless of whether they might be, like you said, a trick of the light or like, there are a myriad of natural and scientific explanations for things that every day that we dismiss as being supernatural. So my immediate thought process would be, yes, something mysterious happened. I'm not sure exactly what it was that was mysterious that you saw. But I would doubt that it was a Sasquatch on 3 glowing apple balls floating through the field with a dead dog hanging from it that somehow was unobservant enough to not notice that you were trying to chase it down until you finally got there.
But it's so specific. Like it's so specific. Generally when people make stuff up, like they borrow off what's in popular culture. I mean, that I've never heard anything like that. So,
it's a mashup, though. It's just a mashup.
Yeah,
it's not like it's introduced a whole bunch of new elements. And just because no one's ever said it before doesn't mean that it must be true. In fact, by the very scientific method and logic, it might indicate that if nobody's ever witnessed it before, then the likelihood that it isn't true and that it's just explained by something else, right?
Yeah. I mean,
I am a real Halloween sport, by the way, guys.
To see the full video, join our Patreon.
Patreon.com/TOFOP.